Welcome to part 19 of The Day of the Lord is a Day of Darkness. And stick around, I got some other things, once the scriptures are done for this particular study. I got some clips the Lord has put into my previewing section and have me preview that I need to share. So hang around for everything. I mean, if you can't stick around for the word, don't stick around for the clips either, though. Because it's not just for entertainment, it's for truth. And if you can't love the Lord in spirit and truth, then you don't love the Lord. And if you don't love His truth, you don't love Him. If you don't love His word, you don't love Him. And there were so many of you all that were not looking for His coming. You will not be receiving that crown. But there are so many of you that are loving His appearing. You will be receiving that crown. So many of you are still not convinced He's coming. Some of you say we're in the tribulation already. Because you're just not studying the Word. It's not that hard. All you have to do is sit down and actually have your heart in it and want to learn it. Desire to learn it. And pray with that desire and fast some with that desire, and God will reveal His self to you. You know you're supposed to be seeking His face daily? Yes. And I have some things to do for the next several days. And those of you that truly are serving the Lord, I covet your prayers if you're watching these videos. Thank you. Thank you for hearing what the Spirit saith unto the churches in the last days. And please keep me in your prayers. Now, like I said, we're going to kick it off. It's always good eats when it comes from Luke's house. That was a dream that the Lord gave me years ago. It was such a crazy dream. And at that time, I was not allowed to read the book of Luke. So it was so bewildering to me. My heart was broke. I couldn't wait to get into the book of Luke to see what it was. And oh my goodness, the things I found. But I'd had that dream. And this man kept telling me over and over, it's always good eats at Luke's house. And I knew it was a Bible reference he was trying to tell me. He said, so be sure you stop by Luke's house and stuff. It's always good eats at Luke's house. He kept saying that throughout the dream. And he was eating something that looked really good. He said, this come from Luke's house. Basically, he was just rolling at my face. Wouldn't even offer me a bite. That was so rude. But anyways, let's get into eating from Luke's house, shall we? This is Luke 12. Luke 12, as I said. And as you can see, it's verse 37. Now, let's get on into it. Blessed are those servants whom the Lord, when He comes, shall find watching. Blessed are those whom the Lord, when He comes, finds watching. Verily I say unto you, that He shall gird himself, and make them to sit down to meat. That means eat. He's gonna gird himself and feed you. Those of you that have been watching, and will come forth and serve them. The Lord is going to come forth and serve you if you're watching for Him. Don't turn Him away. You won't like the outcome if you turn Him away when He's serving you. Because it will be to set you on the left with the goats, who wouldn't eat what He would serve, but will eat anything else that anyone else served. Even heresy, harlot churches. Now, going on. And if he shall come in the second watch, which is what? Where's it at? Right here. 9 to midnight. 9 p.m. to midnight, the second watch. Or in the third watch, which is midnight to 3 a.m. And find them so. Blessed are those servants. You ever been up in the middle of the night waking up to pray for people? What'd you do? You went to the refrigerator and made yourself a snack instead, right? Could have just prayed through. But no. Gluttony sounds better, right? Yeah, I know I got your number, don't I? And this, know that if the good man of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not have permitted his house to be broken through, which means into, of course. Be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when you think not. And He has indeed. He has indeed come in an hour when y'all thought not. Getting the next passages. Now, Luke 8. I'm sorry. Looking at these numbers on my screen is not helping matters. Luke 21. Verse 8. About inverted my numbers there. I about said 8:21. That wouldn't have done at all, because that was way off. But anyways, Luke chapter 21, verse 8. Taking right off here. Be an instant in, season and out. And He said, now this is Jesus saying this, take heed that you be not deceived. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ. Let's talk about this a little more. You know, I got into it a little bit on the other parts about Christ, meaning the anointed one. How are people today saying that they are Christ then? By claiming to be His anointed and His elect. Yes, they are claiming to be His anointed and His elect when they don't know beans from butter. They have a familiar spirit and they don't even know Him. They don't have a personal relationship with Him. They claim to know Him. They serve the Mormon Jesus, I guess you could say. And they think all you gotta do is believe. Believe. The devil believes who Jesus is because the devil knows who he is. That doesn't mean the devil's getting into heaven. Because the devil bears the wrong kind of fruit. It takes more than just believing. You got to bear the right fruit to prove you're on the vine. And the right fruit will be baptized in the name of Jesus. They won't fight it. They won't say things like, oh, well, now, children, let's not argue about it. Let's just all be friends. No, that's what devils say. Yeah, I said that, and I'm going to continue saying it. They won't say things like, oh, now, I love you anyway, even though you want to be hard on that doctrine. Well, we're supposed to be stern on the doctrine, because there's only one. That's the only one. And if you shifty on that, you can shifty on everything. A double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways, and I have no need for you. You're not in God's army. You're just out here playing. You're one of these people right here that come in his name, professing to be one of his, but you're not. That's what you are. You're false. And the time draws near. Go you not therefore after them. We're not supposed to run helter-skelter, going after all these ministers. We're supposed to stay planted where God has put us, not running around. If God hasn't planted you in a church that's telling the truth, then God didn't plant you there. Only if they tell the truth. And you don't want those kinds of churches, though, do you? You got to get out of there. You might cause a limb to fall off of you or something. Might break some of them demons out there. But when you shall hear of wars and commotions, boy, have we been hearing of that stuff. Be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, which means take place immediately. This is immediately. But the end is not by and by, which means it's not immediately. Then said he to them, nation shall rise against nation. We're seeing that. And kingdom against kingdom. We're seeing that. Both kinds of kingdom. Actually, the spiritual world and the physical both are rising against one another. The dark and the light. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about skin tone. I'm talking about soul tone. And there's a reference here if you want to follow it. 2 Chronicles 15:6. I don't know exactly. I haven't. It's been a little while since I've referenced that out. So I couldn't tell you right at this moment what that is. I've got too many other scriptures in my mind. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. Diverse, we know, means various. Excuse me. Sounds like I've been drinking. I ain't touched a drop in my life. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights. Boy, ain't we been seeing those things. And great signs shall there be from heaven. That's what these things are. Great signs from heaven to let us know what time it is. Because they're converging all together. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and prosecute persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. I will see you in the next part, and we're going to kick it off with Luke 21:13.